I want to wish all the Fremont County athletes good luck this year. Stop down at Fremont Chevy to talk sports and let me help you purchase your next vehicle. Jay Collins, your local sales professional at Fremont Chevy Buick GMC, 307-349-7846.
Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at Du Bois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment.
WyoGlass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. WyoGlass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. WyoGlass is Lander.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today. The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit LanderGambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
My name is Sarah Lowe, and I have been in law enforcement in Fremont County for 13 years. I didn't know much about therapy in general until I got injured in October of 20 chasing a cow. So I had to get shoulder surgery. And after my surgery with Fremont Orthopedics, I went to Fremont Therapy. And they were really excited to see you. So it was a really warm, welcoming experience. We tried all sorts of different methods to increase.
Test. All right, and welcome to Lander Valley Playoff Football. Okay, this is Ernie Over along with Kevin Shields. We're in Afton, Wyoming this afternoon on what is a beautiful afternoon. We're looking directly east of the football stadium onto the Salt River Range. There's a little dusting of snow on the salts, and we're looking for a salty performance here today from these Lander Tigers. Lander has not had good luck against Star Valley, putting it mildly. They lost to Star Valley in the championship game in 1993, 14-12. They lost to the Braves in 1995 in the state championship game, 32-14. And they lost in Star Valley in the quarterfinals in 2003, 6-3. And then last year in the quarterfinals, Star Valley made the trip to Lander, and the Braves took away a 50-30 victory. So Lander hasn't had good luck against the Star Valley Braves, and we're playing here on their field this afternoon. And Kevin, this is a gorgeous setting.
Absolutely a gorgeous setting here indeed, surrounded on all 360 degrees by mountains. And really going back to the thing you were talking about, how they haven't had luck with it. I think Lander Valley's in the color world that I'm in right now. The best bet they've got, keep it close, hopefully a field goal, because that's probably one position where they definitely have the advantage.
Well, Matisse Weaver was practicing field goals, and he was hitting them from 30 and 35 yards out during their initial practice. I don't know if he was going to practice any further out than that to let Star Valley know he had that range, but that's a big possibility. Lander comes into this game with a 5-4 mark. The Tigers defeated Green River 44-16. Evanston 24-14, Riverton 29-28 in overtime, Rollins 28-0, and Worland 31-13. The Tigers lost in their first game of the year to Powell 10-7. They turned over the ball 4 times and let Buffalo have easy scores, and they lost to the Bison 29-21. And then last week, I don't know what happened. The team wearing a Lander uniform showed up, but it didn't look like the Tigers. They were defeated 45-0. And of course, Buffalo finished in second place in the 3A East Conference. Douglas was first and Lander was third, so the third place team plays the second team from the West, and that of course is Star Valley. The Braves come into this game with a 7-2 record. They defeated Shelley, Idaho 21-7. Preston, Idaho, 42-14. Riverton, 59-19. Evanston, 21-0. Powell, 48-14. Green River, 49-7. And Jackson, 48-7. They lost to Sugar Salem, Idaho, on the blue turf in Boise, 34-7. And they lost just last week here at Cody, or here in Afton, to the Cody Bonks. It was a 35-25 score. So as Kevin said, the Braves come in basically the second best team in the state. So we'll see how this plays out today. The Lander Tigers average 115 yards on the ground rushing, and that's where they have the advantage over Star Valley, which averages 106 yards a game. The other is reversed. Passing, Star Valley has the advantage, averaging 307 yards. The Tigers averaging 160 yards a game. So in total offense, the Tigers 275 yards a game, and the Star Valley Braves 413 yards a game. Lander comes in scoring 23 points a game, and the Star Valley Braves come in scoring 35.6 yards a game. And I tell you what, they have got one of the best rushers in the state of Wyoming in the form of Caleb Spaulding, who's averaging almost 60 yards a game, Kevin. And we'll be back with more of our preview of the Star Valley Braves and Lander Tigers right after this.
For my job. Rachel's a firecracker. She's just a little spitfire. It was fantastic, a great environment to go and have your therapy.
High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, educate.org.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all.
Okay, we're talking about the individual statistics of the Star Valley Braves. Caleb Spaulding, their number 1 rusher. He's collected 516 yards this year. He averages 57 yards a game. Jaden Crook averages 13 yards a game. Jesse Levitt, 10 yards a game. And Wiley Wilkes, 8 yards a game. On the other hand, for the Lander Valley Tigers, of Coach John Scott, taking a look at their rushing statistics. It's Jack Pasquinelli, and hopefully he'll be able to play today. He's been out with concussion precautions. He averages 55 points or yards a game, so that's comparable with Mr. Spalding. Matisse Weaver averages 22 yards a game. Brandon Stauffenberg 15 yards a game, as does Gabe Harris. And Hunter Velarde comes in at 4 yards a game. In the passing department, Stauffenberg, 160 yards a game. He has attempted 146 passes. He's completed 86. That's almost 59% of his passes are completed, and that's a pretty good statistic for Stauffenberg. Looking at the passing for Taft McClure, the pitcher for, well, I was not going to say the pitcher, the quarterback. We were talking about baseball earlier. The quarterback, he averages 280 yards a game. He is 169 out of 260. So Stauffenberg has a better completion average than does Taft McClure, but McClure's thrown out a whole lot more times. His primary receivers are Wyatt Krog, Chase Stewart, Jacob Hodges, and Luke Linford. And, of course, for the Tigers, the receivers, Gabe Harris, averaging 67 yards a game, Matisse Weaver, 49 yards a game, Evan Stevenson, 17 yards a game, and Joel Beaver, 13 yards a game. So Star Valley has the advantage on the statistic sheet here today, and we'll see how this game goes. It is just a gorgeous setting, as we said earlier, Kevin Shields, and this football stadium and this high school complex is fairly new. It's on the north side of Star Valley of Afton, and they have got their admin, their bus barn, their high school, their middle school. They've got parking on 3 sides of the football stadium here. It really is a very, very nice stadium. They did a nice job in putting together this athletic complex.
Absolutely. And as I said earlier, with Star Valley coming in here, arguably the second best team in the state, it's going to be a tall ask for Lander Valley having to come down here. And this is what happens when you have what happened last week in the final game of the season.
Yep.
It does occur. So Star Valley's got, they've got Cody marked, and hopefully Lander Valley can put a embarrassing note on that and advance to the next round. I got to see Star Valley up close and personal calling Riverton games this year. And as I came away from watching that team, when they're on all cylinders, they're one of the teams that can very much compete with Cody on all cylinders. Can they beat them? Who knows? But Lander Valley's going to try and be a fly in the ointment here. But cannot have that bugaboo that they have that seems to only be feast or famine. Doesn't happen a little. It either happens a lot or none at all, and that's ball security.
Yeah, exactly. The Tigers have got to keep the ball and keep the Star Valley offense off of the field. Their Tiger defense has been pretty good this year, but so is Star Valley's offense. So if the defense can keep the Braves off of the field, they'll have a much better chance in this game. The Tigers, of course, wearing their white uniforms with green numbers trimmed in black. They have white pants on as well. They have black helmets with the Kelly Green LT emblazoned on the side of their helmets. The Star Valley Braves are dressed in maroon and gold. Their uniforms are mostly maroon. They have gold stripes on the shoulder pads. They have white numbers trimmed in black on the front of their uniforms, red helmets. And if you remember the former...
the Washington Commanders former team.
Yeah, the Washington Commanders former
Washington
team.
Redskins, they look just like them.
Yeah, they do.
A reminder to everybody who's listening on YouTube, when we get to the Wyoming High School Activity Association State Playoffs, radio is banned from doing any kind of live stream video as far as that goes. So you're going to have to deal with us just on audio on YouTube.
On audio,
of course, you can check it out on KFCW. And we're going to try and get to as many playoff games as we can within possible reach here over the next couple of weeks. We already know one who's advancing. Hopefully we make that number 2 right here. When does Wind River play, Ernie?
They play at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
So they're already
Star
underway.
Valley. So they're
not playing
underway.
Star Valley. We're playing Star Valley.
No, I'm sorry, Southeast. So, well, I'm right here in Star Valley, so that's what I'm thinking about. The Cougars are playing the Hurricanes. No, they're not the Hurricanes. They're the Cyclones. from Southeast High School. And congratulations to Coach Tony Trumpler and his Shoshone Wrangler team. They rolled up an impressive 53-12 win over Niobrara County High School in Lusk in the game this afternoon in Shoshone. So they have advanced for the second straight year to the state semifinals. And if you remember last year, Shoshone defeated Wind River in those semifinals, shut them out 28-0. So Shoshone is back again, looking for another berth in the semifinals. Well, they are. They've got the berth in the semifinals.
They've got the berth,
yeah.
And Wind River playing at 4 today. They would play this next round coming up. And you do wonder, how does Wind River without some key players?
Yep.
And how do they rebound against a Shoshone team that, there was talks and it gotten louder than a whisper around Wyoming that Wind River was the best team. And Shoshone went in and flexed their muscle a little bit
a
couple weeks ago. So it'll be interesting if they match up again. Of course, Du Bois is starting their playoff hunt tomorrow at 1, I do believe.
Yeah, against Matisse.
And if they advance, we hope to have them next week. We just did not have the manpower this week. So we've got about 11 minutes to kick off. We'll be back with more of the pregame show here on KFCW.
From oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288. Riverton's Hampton Inn & Suites is proud to sponsor our youth athletics in Fremont County. Fremont County school athletics provide our youth timeless experiences and lessons that can lead to success for life. Setting goals, teamwork, and hard work make young athletes into good citizens.
You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and Du Bois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you.
You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes. From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
Back again in Afton at Star Valley High School. And Kevin, playing at home is always a good advantage for a team. But Star Valley has a unique home field advantage. If you notice here where all the snow is piled up along the side of the football field, well, it's well away and behind the Star Valley bench. But on the other side, over on the Lander side, guess where the snow is? It's all piled up in front of the Tiger bench. And this field has a natural slope where the water flows downhill toward the visitor's side. So just a little bit of engineering for a home field advantage. Hopefully there's not that much snow over there, so we hope the Tigers aren't going to have too many wet feet.
No, absolutely, and we're gonna get cold tonight. Really, our first truly really cold game. Kickoff is supposed to be 38. Don't know if it's gonna be that low with the sun unencumbered whatsoever, but it's gonna drop down the low here tonight. Don't know how quickly we'll get to it, but it's right at 12.
Yeah, and of course we're up here right on the foothills of the Salt Creek Range. And, another interesting thing about this football stadium is that they have had so much tremendous luck here at home. Head coach McKay Young is in his 7th year coaching here at Star Valley. They have won 60 games for their coach and have only lost 15. So that's a tremendous winning advantage, and it tells you a little bit about the home field advantage they have here at Star Valley. The Braves have 12 state championships. The last one was in 2019, and they've been the state runner-up 11 times. That's 23 times that they've been in the state championship game since 1967. That's a pretty good record, if you ask me.
It's definitely a really good record, especially when you consider the size of the town. Is just the city limits is just over 2,000, and the metro area, if you will, if that's the terminology to use, is just over 4. So it's very interesting, and we'll go from there.
It's interesting. You mentioned the town population of 2,000 and the elevation of 6,240 feet. Afton, the Star Valley High School, draws their students from Alpine, Star Valley Ranch, Thane, and 11 other unincorporated areas here of North Lincoln County. So they've got a huge number of communities that feed this program. 14 different communities send their kids here to Star Valley High School. The high school student population is 934 compared to Lander's 559.
So big difference there. I wasn't ready on the drive over here. Just went the way that my GPS did. It took me through Idaho, so maybe they're grabbing some of those potato-fed boys up front. About 50-some-odd players on the field for Lander Valley and for, for Star Valley, for Lander Valley, right at 29. So we will see if depth becomes involved. It most definitely would further down into the playoffs, but we'll see both teams coming in at least somewhat healthy, it seems.
Absolutely, and we've got the Star Valley High School band right alongside of us here, Kevin, just down to our left. They've got a pretty good collection of players. And I was noticing that they don't have sheet music. They're using iPads and computers to get their sheet music. They don't have any pieces of paper down there. That's the first time I've seen that this year.
There's a couple now looking, they're right underneath me, but most of them, you're right, have MacBooks and whatnot, which they're facing the same direction we are, right behind.
Gotchi Rehabilitation and Wellness knows what it means to be on top of your game. For over 60 years, Gotchi has led the field in providing physical therapy, occupational therapy, and wellness in Thermopolis and their facilities in Worland, Basin, Powell, Cody, and Shoshone. Whether you're recovering from an injury, deconditioned, post-stroke, or just looking to take control of your health, you'll find years of dedicated experience paired with personal care at Gotchi Rehabilitation and Wellness. Learn more at gotchi.org.
Hometown Freedom Healthcare, making healthcare great. Providing coverage in family medicine, women's health, pediatrics, and mental health. Meet providers Tara Blumenshine, Anna Dina Vasco, and Jessica Rodriguez. Come see us at Hometown Freedom Healthcare, locally owned, 463-0541.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a gray Cadillac, coupe to fill.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Up above for Coach John Scott. So we are about a minute away from some opening ceremonies here, which will include the captains meeting at the 50-yard line in the center of the field for the coin flip, and then we'll know who will get the ball first, etc., that sort of thing. Lander Valley and Star Valley, the Battle of the Valleys today, and we're in the Star Valley in western Wyoming. And Kevin mentioned on his trip, he took the Kemmerer route today. I took the Jackson route. And, it startled him a little bit because he had to drive into Idaho to get here.
I drive into Idaho, and I'm wondering, is there an Afton, Idaho that actually put in? I will say this, though. I grew up a 7:30 purist for high school football.
Yeah.
And I am glad the state of Wyoming is willing to, with so much distance, because if this was a 7:30 kick, we're getting back like at 4.
Yeah, 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. Reminder, though, we got some odd times coming up on KWYW this weekend, as the University of Wyoming is in Hawaii. Oh, poor Eric Pauley and that crew. Out in Hawaii, and they will not be their kickoff is 10 p.m. tomorrow night on KWYW. And the Denver Broncos on Sunday, their pregame show, Ernie, starts at 5:30 in the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
Kickoff 7:30 a.m. live from London.
Yep, they are in the United Kingdom. We're getting ready for our national anthem, and let's listen in.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad